What's up, y'all? How we doing? How we doing? Let's see. Yep. Get all my peripherals up and running. Peripherals. Gotta get my light. When not streaming, I sit in total darkness. Gotta get my camera up and running and the little guy in the corner. There we go. That about it. Little guy in the corner not online yet. Now that should be it. Give Clip Studio. Here we go. All right, we drawn again. Let's do some figures. Banter. Started the Christmas gift production yesterday in earnest, I think. Might be a little tight this year with work as well and streaming. I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna be fine, but I draw like 10 Christmas gifts every year. I think it might be a little bit more this year. And I'm trying to lump a bunch of them into one piece, which on one hand feels like it should make it a little bit easier, but it's just going to be a very ambitious piece. Man, I should get better at drawing feet. But I have a plan for most of the Christmas gifts now, which is good. Way easier to scope a production once you know what you're producing. Pro tip. Also, there's that concept core thing. This is a bit of a pivot, I guess, but Aurélien Fournier, the guy who did the New Edge School, I don't know. Well, he's not doing that anymore, I think. He's now doing a new school thing that he calls Concept Core. And I don't know any of their courses yet, but I do know that he's doing what's been like a quite successful daily challenge, and like all the new edge crackheads are doing it. So I've been considering starting doing that as well. And this month it's characters, so it's like, what am I doing not participating? That tea was hella hot. Damn. I was like, it's been sitting there for a while now. It should be cold. I'll just find some water actually. Give me a second. So anyway, maybe you'll be seeing some daily character challenges from me. I think I think that could be fun. It's just a matter of finding like the energy for them. Like I'm not busy enough these days that I can really talk about needing to find the time. Um, but I do a lot of like drawing. I do work many hours a day already, so for me it's definitely like finding the energy. Finding the energy to do something is way trickier than finding the time. I've become an observer of weekends. I've become a chiller in the evenings. I think that was sorely needed. When I was studying, I didn't really do weekends very much. But yeah, the current concept core challenge is actually one of my favorite things to do, which is it's like that one reference character thing, which is just so much fun. And it's so, I don't know. It's like a way of drawing that doesn't have a very big barrier to entry, which is really nice. You just kind of you find like one reference that you like, and then you go, okay, well let me just draw then. Let me just get into it. Cheap viewers for me. All right, well there's a drawing. Took a lot of liquefying. that much better. It's funny, I always have the sense, because like now we've been doing figures for a good bit instead of faces. I always have the sense when I turn to another subject in drawing that I just forget the other thing that I've been studying. And I think part of it is just like if I don't police it, I don't vary my practice enough. If I don't police it, I just get into a period of time where I'm like, okay, now it's really fun to draw just figures forever. And then I don't really use whatever I learned studying faces, say last month. I don't know, tricky balance to manage. You wanna practice something thoroughly and specifically enough that you learn something, but you also want to keep doing all the other shit that you know how to do so as to not forget it. That was just an interlude as well. All right. And another one. Top 5 most therapeutic songs. This one, Vienna, number 1, maybe number 1. Um, Shit, what's it called? There's some Open Mike Eagle songs on there for me. But I kind of forget which ones are which. Um, there's one where the hook he goes like, "Just close your Open Mike Eagle." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, fuck! You got me. Um, there's one where the hook goes, "Just close your eyes, it can all go away," like 15 times. That one's really good for me. That one works. Highly therapeutic song. I think it might be Microfiche, but I'm not sure. Alwyn, you want to join me on the Concept Core daily character from single reference challenge? Looks pretty fun. I think that's my elaborate. So, Concept Core, the school that Aurélien Fournier is now doing instead of New Edge, I think he's done with New Edge. Um, it's like an online school. They have a Discord too, where they do daily challenges in December. So, which is this month, if you weren't sure about that one. They're doing daily characters from like a single object reference. So you kind of like train of thought associate based off of one reference, and then you design a character from it. And I think it's a fun exercise, and it's a daily challenge, and it's kind of like the daily challenge for a guy like me, for a beast like me. It's kind of the one. Good morning, Anama. How you doing? Can I send, please? Okay, so right now I'm like, okay, fine, fine. um, how do we? I can send on disk. That's the exact right thing that I can do. Just put it in the asylum. Studies. I guess it's not studies. It's like a general, and then you do like. Okay, it's in general in the art asylum. I was gonna send it personally, but just in case anybody else is interested. Man, I'm bad at drinking things today. I just spilled a bunch of water over my tablet now. Burned myself on the tea 5 minutes ago. But I didn't bother to find the specific post where they share the Discord link. Damn, that's a bad drawing. Oh well, happens. Happens. Let's try to. Can I continue the tier list of top 5 therapeutic songs? It's Billy Joel Vienna. It's definitely one or two. It's definitely one um, Open Mike Eagle song, and I think it's Microfiche. And then it's like Regal off the end of No Name's like second album. There's a song called Regal, which is really nice, good vibes. For that one, it's just like the instrumental is so nice that it feels like therapeutic. And then, but this one's probably just like nostalgia. But there's a guy called Rob Tangent that was once on the Harmontown podcast, and he's got a song called "I Don't Feel So Good." IDFSG. I think it's just I think it's just like in an abbreviation. What's great about that one is it's like, well, he's obviously wrong and should get better, but he can't. Which is like hella relatable. What are we up to by now? That's four. That should be four therapeutic songs. Blanking on the last one. Oh wait. No, it's definitely Smiling with No Teeth. Genesis Owusu. There you go. Jacob's tier list of top five most therapeutic songs. This is a crazy gesture. This guy he's really pushing his spine. I think, I mean, I'd like to do them on stream, those challenges. That could be fun. But I do think that, I don't know, I'd rather do them in the evening, actually. Streams are really good for getting in my studies because it's in the morning. So I'm relatively, awake, relatively alert, which I think is important for gaining knowledge. I like doing production tasks, like pure production tasks that don't require a lot of learning um, later in the day, and then front loading my studies and junk is what I wanted to say. Studies and junk. That's like another Cynic's design tip that I've taken to heart. Like learn and study in the morning, learn and study while awake, and then when you're doing more production designing stuff that calls upon knowledge rather than tries to create new knowledge, it's easier to do that shit in the evening. or at least when you're less awake, lower on like adrenaline. Let's go ahead and shrink that. Let's try to balance this a bit more. Little mama, go off. Oh, needed more than 2 minutes for that one. Well, here we are. No, no, no. Okay, well, this one's good too, but it's not the one I was talking about. I will cue Smiling with No Teeth, my top 5 most therapeutic song. Get it twisted. Listening to the right music will cure your mental health problems. Wait, no. Let's actually not say that. If you have actual legit mental health problems, contact a professional. Don't just listen to music. Okay, we're back. We're safe. But music can feel nice, is all we're saying. That's all I'm really saying. Saved it, almost canceled. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like Bo Burnham has that one song where he says "kill yourself" over and over. That's the one where he goes, "Okay, but yeah, well, but obviously don't. Please don't. This is a joke. Don't do that." I think that's fair. When you hit the most sensitive topics, just you can do a little disclaimer. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we're growing, slowly growing into a space where we're like cancelable. The Twitch stream's not there yet. I think the Twitch stream is completely safe. And there's I don't think I'm a very cancelable individual, but I think even if I were, the Twitch stream is not big enough that it would be a problem right now. I think the Instagram at this point is cancelable. Like big enough that somebody could go, "Fuck this guy, man. Fuck this guy," and then it's kind of over for me. social media wise. I guess they'd need a reason. Which I don't think I've given them yet, but you know. Hey, yo, Jacob, you faced a problem. You focus more on shadows rather than light. You end up adding more shadows. Can you elaborate upon how that's a problem? Is it you simply draw more shadows than there would be in real life? Have any advice? I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding the problem right now. Maybe if you could elaborate a little bit, it would make it easier for me to say something. Here we go. Top 5 most therapeutic song. Most nice feeling to listen to when you're in bad mood for me song. Number 5. I have a sense that the YouTube chat is a little delayed. Not sure, but it could seem that way a little bit. That's really stiff. Well, whatever. This guy's a classic. We've drawn him many a time. Let's do it. We're like a little late on the concept core challenge. It started at the beginning of December, but I feel like, you know, now's a good a time as any to get into it. Nope, it's like a full month. It's pretty hardcore actually. They've been doing plein airs, then movie studies, and I've been like just looking at them from the side, going like, yeah, but I'm not really like a plein air painter, and then going, yeah, but like I'm not really like a movie studies guy, and or don't have the time for that right now. And now they're doing characters, and I can't go, yeah, but I'm not really like a character guy because that is the kind of guy I am. It's like, I have to nut up or shut up, right? Rather nut up. I think it's really hard for you to place the light source, and after placing it, then you'll decide where will shadows form and cast, and the results end up looking really dull. Gonna do one of those? Well, that's not what they're doing right now, so you wouldn't be doing their challenge. You think you even have a value problem? This seems like a slightly bigger problem and less specific than what I can address in like a quick tip. Or I'm not not fully understanding what you're saying. You think it's really hard for you to place the light source, and after placing it, then you'll decide where will shadows form and cast, and the results end up looking really dull. If you have a hard time placing light sources and shadows, I would work more with light sources in real life. Doing still lives, doing drawing exercises where you know where the light source is. So that could be stuff like croquis, like real life croquis. You'll know where the light source is. You'll know where your subject is. The problem with one of the problems with studying just from reference, just from images, is okay. Say I'm looking at this reference right now. I can tell that there's a light source from the side, right? I can tell there's also a light source from over here, but I don't have the exact location of the light source. I have the shapes that result from the light source right now. And that's like one bit of the puzzle, right? But this kind of technically doesn't teach me how to place shadows specifically from a light source at a specific location. It just teaches me some shadow shapes for a light source on the left, from the left, looking at this reference. If you're literally physically there, you can clock the light source, go, okay, that's about like a 45 degree that way and a 60 degree from the front, 45 degree from the top. And then you can look at the shadow shapes that you get and start to correlate the two. I'd also just recommend like getting more physical objects. Getting like a cylindrical object. What could that be? That could be like a like a toilet paper roll, and then getting like your iPhone flashlight and trying to cast some shadows onto that cylinder or from that cylinder onto different, just like in real life, going around and testing with a light source and some objects. If you're having trouble placing shadows, it's a lot of like just observing and going like, oh, I get it. When I have like a cone in extension of a cylinder, the cores of the shadows actually don't line up, for example, and then just learning like a million little observations like that. But that's tricky. I think it's a big experience and practice and observation over a long time sort of problem. Placing light and shadow. Another thing that'll help you with that is just another thing that'll help you with placing light and shadow is just understanding the form you're drawing better. So doing like a bunch of this shit where you're like splitting or yeah, splitting a form into a bunch of planes. Because when you do this, you learn to think about the different orientations of different planes at different locations in the form. Yeah, let's just. And when you can think of your geometry like this, like a bunch of planes, it becomes a lot easier to go, okay, I have a light from this direction. This plane is facing all the way this way. That's not going to be hit by that light. This plane will barely be hit by the light, right? So that would probably be a halftone. And then you can go in and go halftone, shadow, halftone. This one's tricky, but maybe halftone, 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 shadow, 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 shadow. And you can sort of go on a plane by plane basis. Will this be in the light, the halftone, or the shadow? Yeah. So like indicating individual planes and then thinking, is this plane seeing the light? Yes, no. Is this plane seeing the light source? Yes, no. That's another way to practice placing light and shadow. Difficult problem, many answers. They all revolve around more rigorous observation and study. I hope some of that was helpful or new to you. Also for this exercise where you're trying to imagine, is this light or shadow? A way to think of it is like, okay, what if I were a little tiny guy on the surface of this orb, standing right here? Can I see the light? Or is it occluded by the form? If you're a little tiny guy down here, the form itself is blocking you from seeing the light. So this is going to be in shadow. And then halftones are a little bit trickier because while the guy here can see the light, which I guess is more up here somewhere, while he can see the light source, it is at quite a steep angle. And the steeper the angle of a light onto a plane, the less it will, that light source will illuminate the plane, right? Oh, let's not be watching somebody else's stream. All right. Almost done with the warm-up drawings. We can fit one more. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Glad it makes sense. It's a big part of drawing as well. Is just understanding the form you're drawing better, right? Um, but it becomes really important once you're painting stuff, or it becomes very apparent once you're painting stuff if you don't understand the form that you're describing. I think it's quite apparent with drawing too, but with painting, everyone's gonna see it. It's gonna be interesting. There's gonna come a time where I can't just play like radio music that everybody knows for like royalty reasons, copyright reasons. There's gonna come a time where I have to evolve beyond like a radio DJ and actually have something to say all the time, more of the time. We'll see about that one. Quack, how you doing? Feels like it's been a while. Maybe that's just me though. How are you? Definitely feels like your watch streak must be broken at this point. Couldn't believe that's something they do. Only learned of the concept yesterday. A while is like 3 days. Yeah, well, I don't know. Once you stream daily, um, time just dilates differently, man. I feel like I've just become quite aware of like when people check in is all. Or you just notice. You just notice. Let's see. Yep, that's about the hand gesture that I wanted. What's up with this? Okay, yep. Yep. This leg really tiny. This torso leaning way less than in reference. Head's a little big now. Cool. Okay, so that will be my warm-up. That's an hour. Oh, barely. Maybe like 50 minutes of drawing. Table lowering time. Locking in time. Alrighty then. Right. Also, today there is an update on the Miro board of the world building project we're developing. Okay, we'll look at that a little later. I had some luck yesterday placing the scapula by first doing the clavicle, then going, okay, well, that means the acromion process has to be here. And then rest of the scapula just kind of makes sense. That felt helpful. I think, okay, we're a little long on the acromion process there. That's the idea. And then what's that? That's supinated. Sure, sure. You'd have lats coming up in here. You would have triceps behind that. Wait, what's that? Oh, that hand is not doing what I thought it was. Does that change things? A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense to me. checking some knowledge here of arm anatomy. All right. Yeah, sure, sure. And then, yep, yep. It's really easy to understand this, or it's pretty easy to understand, like the diagrammatical split into extensors, flexors, and ridge muscles. It sometimes trips me up when they're all sort of like twisted and engaged. It's when it gets a little bit harder, at least. On the underside, the ulna is a good landmark to think of as the border between the flexors and the extensors. While on the top side, I think biceps is great to think of as what kind of splits the two. Well, not splits the two, that would be flexors and ridge muscles, sorry. Flexors and ridge muscles. This is the brachioradialis here. But I think what's been important for me to note right now is that when you do split the arm, top side, bottom side. What's this? This is the palmar side of the forearm. I actually don't know what you call this anatomically, this side of the forearm. But when you do split the forearm with the biceps, just note that it's not like an even split. The flexors take up most of this side. Like all of this is flexors. And the ridge muscles take up less of this side of the arm. Might even push that a little bit more than what I've drawn. It's not a 50-50 split, is all I'm saying here. You thought I already knew this? My experience of studying art is one of learning a tidbit, trying to hammer it into my muscle memory, then sometimes forgetting the tidbit. Sometimes you make an observation and you forget it a little bit. You need to revisit it. I study anatomy so much to hammer home the nuances and to relearn what I might have forgotten since the last pass. All right. Some figures from invention. This is the promise to myself. We have to do this every time. Would that it were so simple that you could just study anatomy once and then know and remember all of it. Maybe if you're the GOAT, but that's not my experience. Would that it were, would that it were, would that it were so simple. I don't know about that. Clavicle here, chromium process, about here. Scapula about here. Anyways, how was everything? What does this mean? I'm not done. There's still stuff left. Kind of drawing the exact same pose, but with a more masculine physique. I guess we should consider less of a pelvic tilt, huh? Hello, Clayt, how you doing? I feel like it's been a while since you've caught a stream for sure. I don't know, what's like a he's okay, so he's very enthusiastically waving. That's the pose I'm trying to do here. It's a very enthusiastic wave. Wave, wave, good but sick. Oh no! So not quite so good. As good can be. Get well soon, get well soon. You have lectures in the morning, yeah, of course. So you can't only join when when life's rough and you're sick, huh? Fair enough. What y'all studying? Feels like a large hand. Definitely do not believe that. I don't think somebody who's waving will stretch their arm that much. I think that was like a big part of this is that it's like a performative pose. This was like a ballet dancer. I don't think if you're waving, yeah, that you stretch your arm that much. 3D visualization, sculpting, modeling, and animation. Okay, okay. Is it like for entertainment? Because I feel like that phrasing there feels like it might be a little less industry oriented. Oh, entertainment. Well, sick. Awesome. That's kind of that's what you want to be studying, though. That's great. Sounds awesome. Is it a good school? So here we go again. Use the ulna on the underside. And then we've got a twist. Twist going on. Awesome, awesome. What's the name of the school? One of the top schools in Finland? That's great, man. I've talked about this before, but I was at the animation workshop, which is a pretty good school. It's just also mainly focused on animation. Which I'm not. Alan Wake. Well, I've seen Adrian Bush's fan art of the game, but that's kind of all I know about it. Fuck me. I feel like yes, so triceps obviously. This doesn't feel right, man. I think I drew the scapula a bit too big. It's a good skill to know your way around, useful in illustration, which you're still going to pursue. Okay, I see, I see. No, I guess, you know, it's probably the exact same thing as what I did, which is I did the CG line of studies at the animation workshop. So, you know, a little bit of concept, then sculpting, retopology, lighting, UVing, rigging, and then you just go, okay, I'm gonna use all that to do the illustration thing that I'd like to be. Yes, that's the one I want to be doing. It's not. We're not getting there. The connections go crazy. Nice, nice. That feels like a long torso. And wings feel a bit too big. Yeah, I don't know, man. Have a bit of locking in dead air here. Got a little mad at this drawing in particular. Yeah, yeah, sure. I wonder if you can use like sports psychology to draw better. I remember in PE in school. This is one that I bring up a lot as well. I actually kind of have no doubt that it's useful in drawing too. But my PE teacher taught me that you perform the very worst when you're sad. It's really hard to like output when you're sad, and this is like in terms of like just engaging your muscles, having your head in the game, shit like that. Um, you perform the second best when you're angry. And this, I don't think this one necessarily works that well with drawing. I don't think you'll draw that well angry. But you can imagine, like physically, it's a lot easier to engage your muscles if you're mad than if you're like depressed, sad. But then, and I forget what's the source of this thinking. I forget what was the little name next to the figure in the PE book. But you perform the very best when you're happy, excited to be performing. That is what our PE book said. Maybe that was propaganda. They were teaching kids after all. But it's always made a lot of sense to me. I've always tried to use that when climbing. And when drawing too. If you can be like psyched about what you're doing, I think you're going to be doing a better job. His arm is really big. Looks better to me. You didn't even shrink it a little bit more. All right, we tried. That's going to be how it looks sometimes. I can't help but feel like this space is too small for some reason. I don't think it's that. But maybe it's not. Wonky eye drawing. We're gonna be moving on. Here we go. Different bit of the canvas. I don't have a pose in mind. I have to be honest with you guys. I don't know what this person is doing. Which I think is like a bad starting point for a figure drawing. But it could be like a, it could be like swinging a hammer. I don't know if I believe that posing. No, because this arms. It's more like they're pulling like a rope. Because this is like the leading edge, right? It's pushing this arm up. A little bit more distance, I think, before we get started on the legs here. Feels like a slightly short, even with the forward bend, feels like a slightly short torso. I know I'm spamming the flip canvas button. It's just like a muscle memory thing. I mean, I also do it to make the lines easier for me to draw. If I'm ever like, it feels like that line is just going to be the tiniest bit uncomfortable to draw really well. I am not afraid to spam Control F. outside. It's definitely working out better than that other one. That's for sure. Why this guy is pulling this rope? Who knows? Who knows? We're not gonna build the world that far. Alrighty. I'm gonna call that drawing there, and we're gonna do a little bathroom break. Then we'll come back and we'll do some character exploration for the last hour. All right. Fuck, man, that drawing's bothering me. Oh well. See you in a bit. And we're back. Oh, it's a raising table moment. It's a raising the table and locking in moment. File loading, file loading. Um, there you go. The sketch doc for the world building project. Save this one real quick. I just need to read a brief here, and then we'll move on. Okay. Right. We're reading. We're reading. Gnarly. I don't know. I saw movement in the chat. I was like, I'm being rushed. Someone's rushing me. We're just. I'm just getting the brief down. But then, of course, you weren't rushing me. Very nice. That's what we wanted. Okay. Get my ref doc. Yeah, no, I will be taking my time. Not gonna be drawing before I have the brief locked in. I see what we're doing. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get to work. Actually, I have like a couple more references I want to pull up first. But now we have the brief. Bro sent me the aespa whiplash video for fashion reference. I mean, it's good stuff, no doubt about that. Really do dig the fits. Oh, that's what you were saying. Guess you gotta get your game up a little bit. Whiplash. One look, give him whiplash. Day one, know I've been bad. You ought to just subscribe with Prime. What? Cetaceans? Salutations. I'd almost guessed that that was what you were going for. I don't have anything for you yet today. We've just been doing warm ups and studies, and then now I've read the brief. I'm gathering reference. Yep, yep. Is this the right one? No, this is not the right one. What? This would be evil. There's this artist Paluxury. It looks like no. There we are. I couldn't Google. I couldn't find this account. All right, here we go. He has like a piece of a Warhammer 40k angel that I like a lot. Just you and two croissants in boulders. Well, that sounds peak. That sounds peak. Um. Right. Doing some file navigation here. I have some reference in an old reference doc that is relevant right now. Find the newest one. Which one's the newest one? That would be you. Yeah, that's what I thought. This one doesn't have it. Feedback to your character description. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. This is not the document I was looking for. I think I might have lost the reference document that I'm looking for. I might have overwritten the save, probably. What's this? That's an old document. Sure does look like I overwrote it. We have like one more shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. No, I mean, yeah, this is good. I don't feel like I'm missing anything here. You know, there's always some bit of development that happens visually from a brief. I think we're all good. Damn, I had an awesome chunk of reference for like porcelain armor. I guess we'll have to go mine it again from the interwebs. He's way too important. He's way too important. It's a little funny how much this image of Victor has popped off. That it's just sometimes on Pinterest when you're looking for reference. I mean, it's a hella dope cosplay too. It's a sick ass image. It's just fun that you'll be browsing Pinterest and then going like, well, I will be browsing Pinterest and then going like, whoa, oh, I know that guy. Yeah, I'm thinking we have most of the porcelain reference we need. One more thing though. So annoying. My Pinterest is a little bugged these days. Like randomly stop working. And then I have to close the tab and reopen a new tab. Boo hoo. Woe is me. Oh, so it's just all of Pinterest, huh? You found the eagle emote. Skrrr! Nice. Sick. Oh shit, he's flexing his subscriber status. Even though he's just a Prime subscriber. All right. Nice, chill. You're chill. Cool. Way too many porcelain ideas. Let's just get drawing. Let's just get drawing. Um, and okay, let me also get the brief from the Miro board into my PureRef. Oh yeah, sorry about the spam sounds. You're gonna get 3 more. And we should be done with that for now. Cool. Well, let's start. Let's start simple. Get the boring concepts out the way. What? Whoa! What, in my opinion, makes a good portfolio? Um, Illustration. I'm assuming. What kind of illustration you looking to do though? That's also important. Um, are you like a league sort of illustrator? Is that where we're at? Random odd question. Um, well, regardless of style, fundamentals I think are really important to a good portfolio. Oh, disclaimer off the top: you're talking to somebody who's talking out of their ass. I'm not. I'm very inexperienced in the industry. I am not a recruiter. I'm not an art director. Um, Trying to build your portfolio next year. You're curious what people think. Really, really prioritize fundamentals. Um, Drawing, values, lighting, perspective, anatomy, figure, gesture. Um, that's so important, man. Physics-based lighting. You want to instill confidence in the recruiter or the art director that you can do the type of work that they require from you. Apart from emulating the art style of the studio or project IP that you're going for, that means showing the skills that can create any piece of artwork they might need, right? Um, and that's fundamentals. If you're a character artist, do a bunch of drawing, million drawings, and show some sketches too. Because sketches, I mean, well, get good at drawing, then show the sketches. Because sketches really tend to betray, I think, your fundamental skills. You also want a couple very highly polished pieces. You want pieces that match the standards of work for the project you're going for. I think probably there's truth to the old maxim of quality over quantity. Show a bit of versatility, but don't do anything in the portfolio that you're bad at. I heard Ate Galen, one at a talk, say, um, just get the fundamentals down. Show us you can draw. Show us you can paint. If you can draw and paint, we can learn you how to draw and paint like Envar. We can teach you how to draw and paint like Envar, sorry. We're not going to teach you how to draw and paint. Yeah. I think that's about as much as I can say in terms of like general advice. From there, it kind of typically gets more specific. And don't go out there and think you're trying to reinvent the wheel. Novel ideas are fun, but really I think the employers are more interested in just knowing that you can meet the requirements that they have. You can do the work that they need done. I have a Discord? That must be what's a DC, right? Yeah, well, there's not a lot happening on it right now in terms of events and shit. Um, Maybe one day. But for sure, join. That's a fucked up arm. That's not how arm. Fine, we'll do the pose that shows off the sword better. Think about outfit for a bit. But really, like the whole portfolio advice thing is like such a jungle. I feel like there's a lot of just guessing to me at what the even because even if you go around and you ask recruiters and you ask like studio execs, different companies will say different shit, and sometimes same company will say different shit. I think yeah, some of the best that I've just then thought, well, some of the best I can do probably is just doing really high quality work if I can, you know? Like that's the goal. And if you can do that, well then most of the studios seem to go, yeah, it's pretty good. Not that that's easy. I mean, she probably needs some amount of body armor. But like everybody and their mother hates on boob plate. I feel like it's almost easier to convince people or to please people if you just don't do body armor, because then it's like so clear that we're not trying to protect anything. Um, you can try some different things as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm looking for some of those like metal heart shapes, like it's like liquid chrome. You see it a lot in like futuristic Y2K art. Y2K, Y3K, people sometimes call it. That's the type of shit that I'm going for with these shapes right now, at least. Okay, now some structure probably to contrast that. Huh? What are those letters? Ah, it's shut your bitch ass up. Okay, okay. Sibao. Yeah, I don't know. I think. The crazy thing is there's like a 4 button solution that I could do like right now in my browser and then fix those bots forever. There's like a 5-click way for me to never have that problem again. But catch my ass never, never taking that trip to the 5-click solution. Catch my ass talking about these bots 3 years from now. Damn, that feels like a mess. Oh well. Free comments, so true, so true. Free engagement. And then people do tend to do what you just did, which is like interact with it, engage with it. It's just some shit to talk about. And you know, God knows we got to keep doing that on stream, so. Bro got banished to the Shadow Realm. Nice, nice. I haven't figured out how to do these metal heart shapes appealingly. I guess I just, because a big part of it is like that they are irregular and strange. Inspired by Kale from League. I'm sure he was the dude that gave me the brief. I'm sure he was. Is Angel Lady with Sword. I don't know, man. Definitely not happy with this shape. Let's see, any specifics about the sword? Nope. Then let's do lava lamp sword. One-handed. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Now, do you mean smaller or do you mean wielded with one hand? Yeah, well, this would this categorize as a heap of iron, 7 feet tall? I'd say this is maybe 5 feet. Alrighty. Yep, yep. I guess it's that thing that there's exploration negotiables and then there's exploration non-negotiables, you know? Go ham. We will. We will. Excuse me. What's up, one Casey man? What's up? They're changing the whole informatics system in their your uni in January. Sorry to hear. Sorry to hear. Sounds like a chore, like a bore, like an unfun time. Yeah, all right. All right. I feel like there's a way to have that splitting tensile stretchy look to the top, but not have it feel the same kind of messy as what it did in the first concept. Something to explore. Yep, you have that down here. I just thought that was a little boring, so I wanted to explore other stuff. I can go ahead and behead you. No, no worries, no worries. I could have made that the main concept instead of like a side note, but I just really I don't know, man. Yeah, I just felt I just felt it was boring. But we can still go with it. I just want to at least try other stuff. And then some of the balanciers. I think I want to do porcelain, chrome, and well, porcelain and chrome, I guess is what I was trying to say there. And then I just need to figure out when to use which one. I guess for this one specifically, the porcelain should be more sparing, especially around the face area, because that's where that's where we need that bit of material contrast. Where are we at? Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. Well, whoops. Didn't mean to do that on the main layer. Anyway. All right. Anyway, that is going to be about all that we have for today. Provided my software doesn't crash and I get to do these last few. I think tomorrow will be more of exploring the same character. For now, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining today. See you in the next one. Until then, have a